Good morning. I'm Maggie Rosenblum, and I'm here to introduce to you Lucy Nassif. While you may know Lucy as Itty Bitty, coined by Mr. Stone, she may appear itty-bitty in size, but her personality and presence is far from it. She never fails to speak up for what's right. She goes the extra mile by asking you how your day is, and of course, illuminates the stage every time she comes upon it. From soccer at 5 years old to proofs class senior year, I've been honored to watch Lucy grow into the amazing person we know and love her as today. Now please, put your hands together for the Ryan to my Sharpay, Zaina Lucienne Nassif.
In Kyoto, Japan, there is a Zen Buddhist temple called Ryoanji with a traditional Japanese dry garden. Unlike the better-known luscious Japanese wet gardens with koi fish swirling delicately in lily-dappled ponds, the dry garden features two main ingredients: stones and gravel. Ryoanji's dry garden is just that. It's a rectangular plot of gravel with 15 stones spaced sporadically like islands. Small patches of moss gently encircle the stones, and the gravel around them is raked in rhythmic ripples that imitate the flow of water. From no angle in the garden can the viewer see all 15 stones at once. This simple and imbalanced design calls on the viewer, or rather the meditator, to find satisfaction in nature's imperfection. When I studied this temple in Miss Perliman's art history course last year, I was intrigued by this idea of seeking to accept imperfections within myself and the natural world. As human beings, we are quick to react emotionally to our mistakes. We become defensive and conceal ourselves behind the brittle shield of shame, or we attack ourselves with our own guilt. And the best advice we are offered to confront these emotions is just love yourself, because your flaws are what make you unique and special. Rarely, however, are we asked instead not to feel positively or negatively about our flaws, but instead just neutral. For the longest time, I never allowed myself to try writing because I thought I was just bad at it and there was nothing I could do to change that. But in Ms. Ray's creative writing course last year, I was surprised to learn that no piece of writing is ever actually finished, that the published version is merely one of many drafts and a work in progress like the rest. As I began writing bits of flash fiction, I realized I couldn't expect my writing to be good in the first draft or even the second. Sometimes what I wrote was bad and it needed improvement, but that didn't mean I needed to feel ashamed of it. When I accepted that whatever I wrote was inevitably going to be flawed, I detached my self-worth from the quality of my writing. Only then was I able to lay aside my pride and share my writing with my peers. In doing so, I opened myself up to the criticism that eventually made my writing something I could feel good about. I learned that it is not only okay, but necessary and good to accept your fallibility. When you humble yourself, you are able to embrace criticism and turn your puniest line into your strongest argument. In the greatest TV show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender, from which that beautiful musical arrangement came, thank you Ayushi and Asrina, the protagonist Aang goes to visit a spiritual teacher named Guru Patik in hopes of finding inner balance. Guru Patik advises Aang to confront his greatest mistakes and let go of his guilt. He says, accept the reality that these things happened, but do not let them cloud and poison your energy. If you are to be a positive influence on the world, you need to forgive yourself. The great master of Kundalini Yoga, Bapuji, wrote something similar when he said this: "My beloved child, break your heart no longer. Each time you judge yourself, you break your own heart." In the past 18 years, I have broken my own heart time and time again with judgment, guilt, regret, and shame. I have spent my lifetime slipping and stumbling and fumbling around for some semblance of self-satisfaction. In this expedition, however, the only thing I have acquired is the realization that I have always been and will always be flawed. My fellow scholars, look at your hands. See how the lines curve and see how they break. This is our reality. Our hands are young and soft and bent in all the wrong places, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. This is all we can be. This is good. Thank you.